Hi, I'm Brett Griffin-Young, Head of International Client Services here at Surrogacy. I have three beautiful children, Sebastian, who's about to turn 16, Georgiana, who is about to turn 13, and the baby of the family, Frederick, is turning 5 in the next couple of days. It's breaking my heart that my baby is getting older. My two boys were born through the Circle Surrogacy program, and my daughter was adopted when she was 6 months old. Now, both surrogacy and adoption lead to the same beautiful outcome, and that is being a parent and having children that you can love and raise. But how you get there is very different. Let's walk through the differences so you can make an informed choice. Let's talk about the biological connection with children. With surrogacy, one or both parents, sometimes depending on the structure of the family and the medical needs, are a biological parent to that child. In adoption, there is no biological link, but the emotional bond is just as strong. And the really interesting thing is, the non-biological child in a gay relationship, for example, often bonds better with the non-biological parent. And I sometimes think maybe that's because as they grow older, it's like looking in a mirror and they see the things that annoy them about themselves in their biological parent, and they don't see that in their non-biological parent. So in my case, I'm biologically related to one of my children. My husband is biologically related to the other child, and my daughter, none of us are biologically related to. The boys have different egg donors, so all three of my children have a different biological arrangement. We love them all just the same. Let's talk briefly about the process and timeline. With surrogacy, it's more of a, I guess you could say, a structured and predictable timeline. Usually 24 months later, you're holding your newborn baby, having followed a process to get to that point. With adoption, it's very different. There's a lot of different variables, and that's what makes it very hard to put a timeline or structured process to this. First thing you have to do is be approved as an adopter. That in itself is a lengthy process. Then finding the right child that's the right fit for your family is the actual timeline that nobody can predict. Birth parents can change their minds. Any number of things can happen along the way that just means you don't get the child that you had your heart set on, and this can be heartbreaking and difficult. It was a challenge for us with our daughter, but we have no regrets. Let's talk about costs and control now. Well, the costs can be similar between surrogacy and adoption. Surrogacy just allows intended parents to be more involved in selecting their surrogate, for example, overseeing medical milestones, securing legal parentage before the birth of the child, which is exactly what my husband and I managed to do. In adoption, there's more unknowns, and the legal parental rights are only finalized after the birth, and in fact, after the adoption order has been granted. With surrogacy, there's a tremendous amount of control that you as intended parents can have versus the control and unknown of the adoption process. After all that, my closing remarks, I guess you could call them, would be, some families are drawn to surrogacy for the transparency, the control that they have, the ongoing connection that they have with the surrogate and so on. Other families are drawn to adoption. The idea of giving a child a loving home is what draws you to follow the adoption route. The bottom line is surrogacy and adoption, as I said at the very beginning, lead to the same result. You get to cherish and love and raise a child or children. You choose the right path for you. Do get in touch with us to discuss these different options. Myself in particular, more than happy to talk about my adoption journey and my surrogacy journeys. So do reach out and let us know if you would like to know more information on either surrogacy or adoption.